Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the show, Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly. And what the hell happened to my picture? I don't know. This must be something new. Um, wow, this is crazy. It's usually longer and bigger. Hey, Mr. Eddie, Mark Eddie, good to see you. Welcome. Hey, Stony. Okay, hon, I'll see you in about 10 minutes. But wow, this is just like, let's see what we got going on here. If I hit that, anything happens? No. How about this? Does this one work? There we go. That's good. We'll go with that for now. Hey, Michelle, good to see you. How are you? Welcome to the show. Well, everybody, welcome to Into the Night with me, Sean Kelly. I am on UPR and Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi, and got a decent show tonight. It was a hell of a week, was it not? Tommy Miller, good to see you, buddy. I'm doing great. Good to see you. I'm glad you stopped in. I haven't seen you for a while, my friend. What a hell of a week, huh, everybody? For the election, congratulations to Donald Trump for winning the presidency. But I tell you what that I've learned during this whole election thing. There are a bunch of good people out there, but also there's a lot of bad people too. And it really never came focused to me until actually I saw the week of the election. I would be lying to you if I told you that nothing was. Hey, Facebook user, good evening, Sean. Hope all is good. And yes, a crazy week. Yes, it was. And so I see all these people, saying all kinds of stuff, doing all kinds of stuff, make people miserable. So many conspiracies out there. People talking down on each other. And then there was people that were talking up. And it was every day. Even though I tried not listening to the news, there's always social media, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. And I just wanted to have an understanding. Hey, Heidi, good to see you, hon. Hello to you too. But I just, I wanted to keep updated on, what was happening with the polls and stuff like that. And I just couldn't believe all the negativity now that's out there. Honest to goodness. I was like, we can't live in America like that. We can't. I was just stressing out. I was really stressing out. And then came the night of the election. I spent close to 5.5 hours on here with Joe Montaldo, Lorelai Potvin, Jay McNichols, and Mike was on too. And we were just watching them go through the whole process, calling in states and stuff like that. And it was just obnoxious hearing it from people, or not hearing it, I should say. And, when the states, when they would call for the electoral vote, I mean, my God, Georgia took like 4 hours almost to call that register down there in Georgia. And then it kept me in suspense. And I'm sure it just wasn't me either. I'm sure it was a lot of people out there. But I couldn't stay up for the results. I just couldn't. I was so tired and I had to go to work the next morning. Yes, Heidi says it's absolutely ridiculous. Yes. And so when I woke up the next morning, of course, I checked to see who won, and Donald Trump won. And I don't know if this happened to any of you, but it felt like there was a whole, like 5,000 pounds of pressure that just released from my shoulders. Like I got this feeling that everything is going to be okay. Now, a lot of people were saying that, there's a shift in the universe and the stars are saying it's going to happen. And I really thought that there were going to be riots. I really thought there was going to be a lot of chaos. But to my surprise, there wasn't. And I was totally grateful for that. Heidi says, I do too. Everything is going to be okay. This too shall pass. Absolutely. And I just felt this relief. I wasn't saying, well, she didn't deserve to win. I don't want to go through another 4 years of what we went through before and blah, 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 what everybody was saying. I was just happy he won. It just seemed like things are going to be okay now. There wasn't so much animosity out there. And I talked to a lot of people about it, and there was a lot of people that felt the same way. It was just like one big relief. And I was so grateful for that. And even after it, you had this sense that somehow the opposition was going to try to throw a monkey wrench into the election. And it's with me today. I said, and they started right after he won, and I'm thinking, can't you all just give us a break? Can't you just let us have a break? Let us enjoy the moment. Tommy Miller says, totally agree about feeling relieved, and it honestly feels like things are finally back to normal after the last few crazy years. Facebook user says, I felt the same way as you, Sean, but it's also a little too quiet, just a tiny bit eerie. Yes, that's true. And I am grateful for the peace, but it's just a tiny feeling of it is too quiet. I totally agree with you, Facebook user. Totally agree with you. And that's what's scary about it because, only God knows what the hell is going to happen. But it was always taught to me when I was in recovery, and I go through it today. It seems like when something good happened to me, I never enjoyed it because I was ready for the other shoe to fall. Okay, River. Okay, buddy. That's River. Okay. How you doing, River? Good to see you. River says, I felt the same as you, Sean, but it's a little too quiet. It's just a tiny feeling of it's too quiet. And that's the truth, River. You're so right. I like how J-Lo came out of the woodwork to cry about it. Oh, but she's not crying at all. The victims and their trauma. True. And so, Yes, I mean, I had a great moment. I was happy. And then all of a sudden, I'm waiting for the other shoe to fall. But I learned in early recovery, I can't do that. I have to enjoy the moment. You know, I have to enjoy what's going on. But, and then all of a sudden, I started to see all these conspiracies and the other side saying, well, this is this and this is that. And, you know, a bunch of horse crap. Just be in the moment. Yes, ma'am. Yes, Heidi. Heidi said, just be in the moment. But it's hard sometimes being in the moment, honey, when you know what happened, the last 4 years, you just didn't know. You just didn't know. But it happened. And and I'm going to enjoy this. Yeah, Heidi says, oh, I know, easier said than done. And the next morning, I woke up ready to go to work. And somebody who I'm very, very close with, somebody who I love, somebody I care about, said to me, I'm not talking to you today, or I won't talk to you for the rest of the year. And I was just like, oh my God, that hit me like a ton of bricks. And then I said, well, what did I do to you? What happened? What's going on? And she wouldn't talk. And it bothered me and it bothered my brother. Bothered me all day long. And I'm thinking, well, what did I do? What did I do wrong? And then come to find out later on in the day, it wasn't me who did something wrong. It was just because, you know, Kamala didn't win. And she was a fan. And I know this woman does not like Donald Trump at all. And it was all spread of the lies like that. So about the lies that she heard all this time about him. Um, okay, Michelle says, I never remember our parents or grandparents acting like that. If one party or the other one, America decided. Yes, that's true. Oh, another Facebook user. Hello. Heidi says, what? Oh, wow. Sorry to hear. Shaking her head. But, like, threw me for a looper. And like Michelle said, back when we were growing up, you voted party. You voted party, and and then you went. There was no fighting. There was none of this bullshit that was going on today. That was going on for the last 3.5 years. There wasn't nothing. Michelle says, I don't like him either. I hope he does what he says he's going to do and stop the fentanyl from coming over the border. Hey, Joe Fox, good to see you, buddy. Thanks for telling me. Glad somebody told me that. Thank you, Joe, for saying that. The border things are very important to Michelle, and they're definitely important. They're important to all of us. You know? And I know, Michelle, honestly, that he's going to do okay. He's going to get it done. Heidi says, I don't like either one, and they're all corrupt. That's true. But you know what? There are a lot of things that I don't like about the man, but I like his policies. And I know for a fact that he'll get it done. And that's what, I'm not hoping for. I got that feeling. But with all that said, uh, so much relief because we understand the truth, you and I. Yes, immigration in general. There's just so much stuff that we went through for 3.5 years, or 3 years, almost 4 years. Went through so much bullshit. Heidi says, I'm going to say that he is better fit than she was. Of course, I agree with you 100%, Michelle. But now it's time for him to shut up and get it done. And I guarantee it. I just don't want to guarantee anything. I just think he will get it done. Yeah, I don't know why I'm seeing your names. That's crazy. I don't understand that either. But I'm glad you guys told me who you were. That's a good thing. Um, but that comes to what I want to say now. It's time to live in peace. It's time to come together. It's time to help every American out there have a better life. And no more fighting between us. No more taking stands. I think that's Joe. I am tired of the divide. I want the truth to come out and I want my country to heal. Oh, that's you, River. Okay. Thank you. Heidi says, agree, 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 agree. It's time for the healing. And I want that to happen. Maybe all those times, the last 4 years, I kept saying how I pray one day that everybody get along and not fight for one day. And I do believe my prayers came true. So, Spirit, God, Buddha, whoever you believe in, answered my prayers because that one day, Wednesday, after the election, nobody fought. There was no riots. There was no burning down cities. People came together and they casted their vote for what they wanted out of this election. It would be wrong of me to say all kinds of bad things about Kamala and Joe Biden. It would be, because to me, that's not fair. And I know that we were angry at them for a long time. I know we were. I know I was. Michelle says, yes, one nation under God. It's true. Or one nation on whoever you believe in and whatever your faith is. I cannot speak bad of the opposition. They did it by their actions. And what happened the last, 4 years of what we went through. But it's time for us to grow up. It's time for us to act like adults. It's time for us to come together. Both sides. It's that time. Because we really need it to work. Okay. Heidi says, as above, so below, as within or without, as the universe, so the soul. Much love, Sean and everyone. Hey, much love to you too, Cindy. Thank you for popping in. Eugenos Vasquez says, I'm really glad that Trump is in. I just wish all the people who were hating on Kamala after the fact could just move on. And I agree with you, Eugenio. It's time to throw away the hate. You know, it's time to throw away the hate. You know, and even the people on news, you know, MSNBC, Fox, CNN, all them, at least at least they're fighting about it. Not fighting, but they're talking about it. And you don't know if they're telling the truth or not. But it happened. She lost, and Donald Trump won. And it's time to be united. It is. The United States of America. And I truly, truly believe that we can unite the world too. It's just a good feeling that I have right now. And I just do want to mention about Pennsylvania. Now we are a very, very blue state. We are seriously a blue state. Uh, River says, I want to know where are the 350,000 missing children are and what is happening with the children. They matter. I want our economy fixed and our constitutional rights to be upheld. We need to unite for the future of the children. And I totally agree with you, Rose. And I'm hoping that he steps up and protects the children. It's what I want too. It's what I want too. For him to protect the children, to find out where they're at. Maybe one day we'll find them. Maybe, who knows what's going to happen. But we got the right person in office to see what the hell's going on, and maybe he can do something. So let's just unite and have a big party and move on from the last 4 years. I think it'll be okay. I think things are going to be okay. But one more thing, like I was telling before, Pennsylvania is a deep, deep blue state. It really is blue. Okay. And everyone's saying that she was going to take Pennsylvania. But there's one thing that they did not comment on or figured out, that the Amish came in and they voted. The Amish people came out to vote. And that helped him go over the line. The Amish community, yes, Heidi, very much. Eugenio says, it is fair to say that the gender affirming surgery on children debate could open a can of worms on orphans were abducted and surgically altered to maneuver certain types of spacecraft or UFOs. Michelle says, I did some research on our First Lady-elect, Melania. She has an organization for opiate addiction. Yes, they do. And you're right, Heidi, they didn't bank on their vote. And, go online if you want to help the Amish people. And buy some of their jams, buy some of their bacon. Oh my God, can they bake? Oh, their food is so good. But their workmanship on all their furniture that they make, oh, I'm telling you, it's beautiful. So if you can, go on the website and look up Amish companies or whatever and see what we can do for them. I know when I have another couple of days off, I'm going to take a ride up there. It's about a 3.5 hour ride for me. I'm going to go up and I'm going to buy some jam and tell them thank you for that. And it's just not so much the Amish about Pennsylvania, it's all the people who finally realized that Donald Trump can do a better job. Joe, this is you, Joe, right? I love the Amish crafts and baked goods and jams. Love them. Oh, that's River. Thank you. The Amish have been farmers since forever, and I heard that some laws went into effect hurting their way of farming. You are right, Heidi. That's the reason why they came out and voted, because the government came in and they totally went to this one farmer who's been feeding so many people. They took all his animals. They took his land because I really don't know what the reason was. But they went up and they took it for no reason. They just came in and took it. And that's why they came out to vote, because they didn't want that happening to them. Michelle, Amish furniture is amazing. It's amazing. You know, my mom, we had cupboards put into our kitchen, and the Amish built them, and they're gorgeous. We had Amish come in and put a new roof on our house, and they did such a good job. They just went out and started doing it, and it looks beautiful. Nothing. They're good people, but you don't want to mess with other people's properties and what they work for. I know that farm that the government came in, um, been doing it for years. And in the blink of an eye, the government came in and took it away from them. It scared the shit out of a lot of people. It even scared me, because if we would have had another 4 years of blue, then that's what they could do to you. Heidi says, most likely to surprise their way of life. True, we have had a lot of Amish in Puxatawny, PA area. Yes, not. And Heidi says, not surprised. Oh, surprised. Can't spell tonight. Yeah, me neither. But up in Puxatawny, the Amish are one. You can't say enough. I mean, seriously, whoever lives in other states, you need to come out east in Ohio, Indiana, Pennsylvania. And their baked goods are so good. Oh my God. I mean, if they sell these little cherry strawberry tarts, and they're not the tarts that you see in the store. These things are like 3 pounds. That's how heavy they are, but they're so good. But and we got to thank them. I know I thank them, and I'm going to continue. Um, Heidi says Kansas has quite a few Mennonite communities, and they're just as special too. They are good people, and I think the Pennsylvania Mennonites came out and voted too. I'm just saying, it was a good day and a good evening. Now it's time to heal. Now it's time to love. Now it's the time to really care for each other. Eugenio Vasquez says, all I know about the Amish people is from the old X-File episode, and I apologize if my comments seem to be troll. I assure you it's not. If anything, it's humble, benevolent trolling. I believe you, brother. Eugene, you've been following me forever. You're all good, dude. It's all good. Stoney says, we don't have any Amish here in New Zealand, but I relate to the prepper side in working the land. Cindy says, I can appreciate their way of life. Yes. Because at the rate we were going, we probably would have had to go their way of life. But let's unite. Let's love. Let's take care of each other. Let's just do the right thing. let's just do the right thing. Um, it is at the 30-minute mark, so I'm going to go and I'm going to take a little break. Uh, Sean, do you think Bigfoot realizes Trump got reelected? Good question. Is that you, Joe? I don't know, buddy. I don't know. You're going to have to ask all them Bigfoot hunters out there and see how, if they quieted down or something like that. But it is for that is the 30-minute break coming up. So go grab a cigarette, drink some pop, go to the bathroom, do what you got to do, and I'll see you back after the break. Hmm.
Tune in to UFO Undercover, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, with your host, Joe Montaldo, right here on the Paranormal Radio Network.
When they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
Hey, welcome back to the second part of Into the Night with me, your host, Sean Kelly. The first part of the show, I talked about the election and how I talked about how, there was a big relief off my shoulders the very next day knowing that Donald Trump won. And we also had a little, like, 10-minute talk about the Amish here in Pennsylvania and how they were really big in the election in Pennsylvania. I am on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3 New Orleans, 107.7 Mississippi. And you can always catch my shows on Sunday night from 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on this platform. And you also can catch me Tuesday nights, 8:10 to 9:10 p.m. on UPRN Talk Radio. So we're talking about haunted places, okay? And the first one that I looked at, I know I took a little bit too much time with at the beginning for this other thing, but you know what? I wanted to get that off my chest. I wanted to say what I wanted to say in the first 30 minutes. But the first thing in the book that I got, let me see if I still got the name of it. It's called Hell House. The book of haunted places in the world. And so I got my trusty notebook here. So I'm going to be reading from my notes because my brain don't work that well sometimes. But the first one I would like, this one I'm going to talk about tonight is the Amity House of Horrors up in Amityville, New York. And I look at that And they made a movie about it. Okay. And they made this movie, and it was really big out there in all the theaters, and I guess it made a lot of money. But for some reason, I just really, really had a bad feeling of maybe it was just the writers who made it scary. That, yeah, Cindy says it was a scary movie. Yeah. But then again, I've been on investigations to where there is some really, really seriously, you know, demonic or really evil things that have happened in places I have gone to, but nothing compared to the movie. So I wanted to bring this up tonight. So I was looking at this book, and it's funny when you open up a book and you turn to a page. Just open the book randomly, and you just get that little feeling on the inside. Oh, maybe I should give some information about the Amityville. So I'm going to give you some stuff that I wrote down here. A couple questions to ask that I'm going to ask you, and I would like to hear your input on the story. Um, in the fall of 1974, police, received a call informing that there was gunshots, and this is in Amityville, New York. And 6 members of the Defoe family were shot in the back, and the eldest son was charged for that crime. But as he was, I really seriously need a teleprompter. Just kidding. The eldest son was charged for the killings, but he kept saying that the demon told him to do it, that he was possessed by this demon, and he got 150 years for killing six of his family members. And I can see to where if you are like in a really bad place in your life and you are so depressed and so anger, if you have mental health issues and you let your guard down, I've seen it happen to people who got possessed. And I'm not possessed by demons, I'm talking about possessed by spirits. And that's what they feed on. They feed on all that negative energy there. And then when the time is right, boom, they walk in and there you go. They're possessed. So that's one thing you have to keep in mind. I mean, the eldest Defoe family member who was charged for killing was saying that he was possessed and the demon kind of made him do it. Cindy says also drug and alcohol. Yes, that's true too. So my question to you guys, do you believe that the son did the murder because he was possessed? Or do you think he had a mental illness? That's my question to you guys out there. Do you honestly think he was possessed? Or a mental illness? If you want my personal thing, I don't believe that he was possessed. And that's my feeling that I get. I could be wrong, but that's what I felt. I have never seen actually somebody really possessed by a demon. Heidi, you're not familiar with the story. If you get a chance tonight, just Google it, the Amityville Horror House. It was really big here on the East Coast. Then, here's the crazy thing about it. George Lutz and his wife moved in December 18th, 1975. Mark Eddy, that's funny. You're funny, buddy. Mark says he wasn't listening to UPRN a lot. That's funny. I like that, dude. That's good. Um, but this happened in the fall of 1974, and George Lutz and his wife moved in December 18th of 1975, and they knew what happened in the house, and they didn't quite. They said, "The hell with it. We like the house. We're staying." Okay. Um, so the Lutzes moved in with their three children and their dog, whose name was Harry. Good name. As soon as they unpacked, all hell broke loose. That's when they started to see gory stuff, uh, dark gooey stuff coming from the keyholes and doors slamming at 3:15 in the morning. And when Mr. Lutz would go down to check out the slamming of the door was closed already. The dog was sleeping on the floor right by the door, um, and the furniture was moved, and all kinds of other creepy stuff. But Heidi says, I've heard of it, but I have never liked scary movies. Told my kids you can never erase visions. Laura Dito, who wrote the book and investigated, was recently on Outer Realm twice. Oh, wow. But I don't know. Let me ask you guys this question. Okay, I told you I have a couple of questions. Would you move into a house that had a couple a year before there was a massive murder? Would you move into the house knowing that there was a murder in the house? Could you move into a house? I mean, now they claim that the house was calling this guy George what's his name, you know, and it just seems like he just got so fascinated with the house, and they just moved in. I couldn't deal with that. No. If I knew there was a mass murder in a house that I liked, I'm not sure as hell going to move in on it. Cindy Simpson says, no way for my husband and I. No, not at all. Now, maybe before I got into the paranormal investigating, maybe I thought maybe it'd be pretty cool to do so. Heidi says, I'm pretty sure I've lived in a house that had a murder in it. Okay. Well, the house that I lived in, no one was murdered, thank goodness. But I don't know. That would be kind of crazy. I don't think I could do it. Nah. Um, they brought a priest in to bless the house, and the priest went up to the second floor. He went into the room, and he sensed something really bad up in that room, but he never told the people what he felt in there, which I think is not right. The dog, as the movers were coming in with the furniture, the dog was in the backyard, and he nearly hung himself because he was trying to run away from the house. Strange smells, toilet bowls turned black, sticky, dark substance dipping from the keyholes, and swarm of houseflies in the second floor room, which the priest did not feel nothing like. I mean, even if I saw that shit in my house that I moved into, ain't no way. Ain't no way I'd be living in that. And they heard strange noises like footsteps throughout the house, sound of door slamming. When he would investigate, he saw the rolled up carpets, like I told you before, furniture moving. His wife started arguing with the kids, and he became listless. He didn't take a bath, shower, nothing like that. But what's really, really cool, not cool, but thank God they got, they made their minds up. They only lived in that house for 28 days. And then they moved out. I would have been moving out within 24 hours, for 28 hours. I'd be moving out. Heidi says, we had a swarm of houseflies in the second floor when we moved in on our New Year's Day. I also saw a Joker guy laughing at me, and I told him to shut it up. Shut the TF up. That's cool. So, my question to you, everybody, the house gave you creeps. Anything like that, going to creepy houses, if it gave me the creeps, I wasn't there. No more. Do you all think it was a hoax, this Amityville horror, or do you believe it was a real haunting? That's my question for you guys. I believe it wasn't a hoax, but it was a haunting, but not as bad as what they made it out to be. And that's my opinion. But I want to thank you for, joining in the show tonight. But before I go, I still got a couple minutes left. Veterans Day is coming up. And that's a very special day for me because I am a veteran. And I'm sure there are people listening to the show now that are veterans. And all I can do is say thank you for everybody who served in the military. That goes from the Army all the way to Space Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. Thank you for serving. Those are my brothers and sisters. And yes, I am 62 years old. But if they asked me if I would re-enlist, I would do it in a heartbeat. I would. Facebook user, thank you, Sean, for your service both then and now. Thank you. Thank you, Rose. But we owe it to the veterans for what we got today. For all the veterans that fought in the wars, 1, 2, Korea, Vietnam. Please don't ever forget Vietnam. Please don't. Gratitude, Sean. Thank you. Thank you, Heidi. Don't forget our veterans. And if you see a veteran, it's okay to go up and say thank you for helping us, or say, thank you for your service. Now, you might see a veteran blush when they say that, because it's hard to, accept compliments. It really is. But without the veterans, you wouldn't have what we have today. Cindy says, I believe it was a real haunted house. That's cool. I think it was a haunted house too, but not to that extreme. So Veterans Day is coming up, I think Monday or Tuesday. Thank a veteran, because we made the sacrifices so you can live in the United States of America. So everybody, thank you for watching the show. Children, if you can, please go to your children, give them a hug. Children, go to your parents, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And parents, please go to your children, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And if you have no parents, if you have no children, please find somebody, give them a hug, and tell them that you love them. And when you see somebody on the opposite side of the aisle, rather be Democrat or Republican, give them a hug and tell them that you love them. Everybody remember, it's time to heal. With everybody else being nice to everybody, we can heal this country. And on that note, good night, everybody. I will see you Tuesday night, 8:10 on UPRN Talk Radio. Happy hunting. Bye.